On June 12, 2025, at 1:38 p.m., Air India Flight 171 took off from runway 23 of Ahmedabad International Airport. The plane had just reached its ultimate altitude of 625 feet when ATC received a distress call from Amaze and then suddenly disappeared from radar. A few seconds later, a loud explosion is heard in the city. Clouds of black smoke are seen rising. Air India's Boeing 787 Dreamliner, which was going to London with 242 passengers, crashed head-on into a medical college hostel where students were busy having lunch in their carefree mood. According to reports, 294 people were reported to have died in this accident, including the students on ground. Another thing that doubled the destruction in this crash was the full fuel tank of the plane because the flight was to go to London, which was more than 6,700 kilometers away. That is why the plane was filled with an estimated 80,000 liters of jet fuel. When the aircraft hit the hostel, this fuel turned the entire building into a ball of fire. It became difficult for the fire brigade to control the fire because of the large amount of fuel that had ignited. Pieces of iron were falling everywhere. The flight, called a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, was going from Ahmedabad to London, with 230 passengers and 12 crew members on board. 169 people were from India, 53 were British nationals, 7 from Portugal, and 1 passenger from Canada, including 11 children and 2 infants. The command line included Captain Samith Subberwal and First Officer Clive Gundar, both of whom were experienced pilots. But surprisingly, even in such a huge disaster, 1 life survived. Ramesh Vishwas Kumar, who was sitting in seat number 11A near the emergency exit, told the media that there was a loud explosion and after a few seconds, bodies were scattered everywhere. I ran away and someone put me in an ambulance, but his brother Ajay, who was with him, the plane was traveling along with him and is still missing. This aircraft was 11 years old and the reputation of this model in the aviation world was quite good. According to the meteorological report, the weather was completely clear at that time. There was no storm, rain, or low visibility. So the question arises, why did the plane crash? Did the engine fail or the fuel tank burst? Or was there a technical malfunction? According to some reports, the plane did not gain altitude quickly after takeoff. Experts are saying that the engine may not have given full power, which is why the plane did not get the lift it should have. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner is normally considered a safe aircraft, but some technical issues have been reported with this model in the past, such as battery failures and software bugs. It is not yet clear whether this crash had anything to do with these issues. However, the most important thing is the black box. This box will tell what the flaps were in before the crash, what the engine status was, and what the pilots in the cockpit said if there was any other problem. However, the families of the deceased are submitting their DNA samples so that their loved ones can be identified.